Alright guys, hello there and welcome to Uncharted 4. So normally I wouldn't play two games of the same type back to back, especially not of the same series. And especially if they're Uncharted games, but I'm broke as shit until Christmas and I don't want to be a dick and leave you guys without content. So without further ado, welcome to Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, or as I like to call it, Trial and Error Simulator. So this is kind of like partially blind and kind of not, because I've played through like half the game. But basically I got up to a certain point and I couldn't beat it and it was pissing me the fuck off, so I stopped playing it. So basically beyond that point I have no fucking idea what's going on. So I got to the 12 towers. I got to this point where you're like behind this caravan of cars and you have to like grapple to a car and then like hunker down and then kill people around you, and it was pissing me off so fucking bad, so I just stopped fucking playing. So I'm honestly gonna go on light because I don't really care for the quote-unquote difficulty these games have to offer. Because it's basically just on the harder difficulties you get shot less, and you die quicker because you get shot a lot, which makes total sense. So, yeah. I think this was my original game file, and then this was my second game file because I was kind of getting used to the controls a bit, just as a bit of a refresher. But, we're gonna start a brand new game. And hopefully this goes well. Probably won't, but we'll see. Because I want to like these games. Like, I like the puzzles, and I like the treasure hunting premise, and I like the characters, but the combat is fucking abysmal. It is so fucking bad sometimes. And like, when you try and take cover behind objects or whatever, and he just like darts from wall to wall to wall, because you can attach to any surface and not just stuff that's like considered cover, it kind of makes the gunplay a little bit janky and a little bit frustrating to deal with. But it should be a good time, I think. Maybe. Hopefully. I don't know. I'm a man of fortune, and I must seek my fortune. Henry Avery. Oh, good. If that was a quote from fucking, Nathan Drake, we would have been in trouble. Because, seeking your fortune basically translates to bashing your face into brick walls over and over and over again. Or jumping off places you're not supposed to. Oh yeah, that's right, we start off in the boat, don't we? I remember this.
Crap.
So, like, some of the puzzles in this game I know kind of how to do, or I have an idea of how to do them. But, all the puzzles past the point where I stop playing this game, I have no idea. Like, I don't know how they work at all, so it's probably gonna be super trial and error. Nah, dude, that's song lyrics from Kanye. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if Kanye West influenced this game. It would explain why it's so fucking garbage, honestly. Like, these games aren't bad, but they have things about them that make them bad, if that makes sense. Like, these are really, really, really fun fucking games. They really are. These games are fucking fun as hell, but they're just sort of garbage. How's it going, chicken, by the way? Did you behave yourself the other night? I hope you did. Oh yeah, also, I wanted to address something really fast before we get too into it and I forget what I wanted to say. Before I get too immersed, it has come to my attention that some people think I come off a little strong and I kind of come off like a cocky dick, because, like, I'll sit there and say, oh, like, I don't know the struggle because this didn't take me that long, or I didn't struggle on this boss, or something like that. And apparently it makes people feel a little inadequate, and, makes them feel a little bit insecure about their ability to play. And I understand how, like, I may come off like a dick, but, like, I never intend to come off like a dick, if that makes any sense. Like, I have no intention of, like, flaunting, like, how good I am at anything, and I don't intend to do that. And it's not my fault that people think that way or interpret what I say that way, because that's not how I mean it to sound, if that makes sense. And it's really hard to, like, assume how somebody's trying to talk through a monitor. And, like, I don't mean to come off really cunty, but if I do, I apologize, and that's not my intention. Like, I'm totally supportive of everybody, I'm really friendly, like, I'm not trying to, like, displace, like, your struggles or whatever, like, the fuck you're experiencing, and say, like, oh, I didn't struggle with this, or I didn't struggle with that, or I didn't have problems with this. Like, I'm not trying to say anybody shit at anything, that's not what I'm trying to get across. But when I say, like, something just didn't take me that long, I usually mean to say it in a way that's like, yeah, I got lucky as fuck because I'm garbage. Like, everybody seems to think I'm really good at the Souls games and shit like that, and I'm fucking awful. And anybody who thinks otherwise is honestly just either really ignorant or really fucking stupid. Because my whole theme to my channel is self-deprecation. And people have always asked why, like, I talk so much shit about myself, or I think I'm really garbage at everything. And it's because I am, typically, and if I happen to get past something, it usually just means I was lucky enough to do it really soon, rather than struggling on something for hours and shit like that. So, like, if anybody thinks I'm, like, trying to come off strong, or I'm trying to, like, flaunt big dick energy in your face, that's not it. Like, I guarantee you I'm not trying to come off like an asshole, and I'm sorry if I do. And I apologize, but that's never my intention. Like, it's hard to explain right now because I'm focusing on shooting people in the face. And I'd be way better with my words if I could, like, hunker down and, like, say what I want to say. But yeah, for people that, like, think I come off like an asshole, I don't want you to have, like, an incorrect impression of me, because honestly, I'm nobody to tell you who to think, and if you perceive me to be a certain way, you're entitled to think how you want to think. But, like, I'm just trying to say that, like, I definitely am not trying to come off like a fucking cunt, and I'm sorry if I do. Because I really don't mean to, and I don't want people to think I'm an asshole without valid reason, you know what I mean? So, yeah. Like, I'm sorry if I come off like a dick, I don't mean to, though.
Nathan.
Been behaving in most places, I just do random dumb shit, haven't been getting drunk often either. I'm here to make light of people's problems and laugh at them. I mean, the whole theme of my channel is laughing at myself and joking with everybody that I'm trash. My whole theme to my channel is self-deprecation. Like, if I can do it, anybody can do it. So when I say something isn't that bad, or, like, keep your head up, I didn't struggle that much, and if I didn't struggle, you shouldn't struggle, is what I'm trying to say. Like, if anybody can do it, like, if I can do it, anybody can, is what I'm trying to get across. And, it just occurred to me the other day, I was talking to somebody, I'm not gonna mention who, because I don't want to start drama, or, like, incite problems or anything for him, but, I kind of asked him, because I was in a weird place the other day, and I was sitting here thinking, like, maybe people think I'm too vulgar, or, like, maybe people are offended by my language a lot, or maybe I'm causing people problems, or people don't like me, or something like that. And I was kind of getting in this weird mental state where I was just worried that everybody, like, had a bad or poor opinion of me, like... And I don't know why, because I usually don't give a shit what people think of me, and I really typically don't care, but... I don't want people on here to think I'm a fucking asshole or anything like that, because I'm not. Like, I'm really friendly, I'm a really nice person, and I'm supportive of everybody, like, no matter what people play, no matter what they do, you know? But, yeah, I had it in my head that, like, people don't, like, come around or talk to me much because, like, I'm super offensive and shit, and, maybe, like, sometimes I'm a little bit too vulgar, or my humor is a little bit too out there, you know, and it's a little bit too offensive for people sometimes, so, like, my approachability is not what I think it is, even though I, like, portray myself as a certain, like, something or another, you know what I mean? So, so basically, I wanted this person that I messaged to be honest with me, but I also didn't want to put them in a place where they were obligated to answer, and it made them feel very awkward to do it, you know what I mean? Because they didn't want to be the person to, like, say that stuff to me, and, like, have me think differently of them or anything, but in actuality, what I really wanted is I just wanted somebody to be, like, totally honest and upfront with me. So, like, if anybody has a problem, or, like, has any opinions about what I say, or, like, the way I come off to people, don't be afraid to approach me about it. I'm not gonna get mad like you think I would. Like, I'm not that kind of person. Like, I'll understand, I'll talk to you, I'll try and work through it with you or whatever, so, like, we can both come to a better state of understanding or whatever. But, like, if you ever have a problem with me, or you're, like, offended by something I say, or you're worried that, like, I'm too offensive, or I make fun of, like, a certain, like, race or something, like, if you think I'm racist or something like that, like, we can talk through it, and I can try and, like, word you through the way I think. But, like, honestly, that's just how my humor is. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I'm just a very derogatory person by nature, but I don't have anything against a particular race of people, or, like, a certain gender or anything like that. Like, I'm not ableist, I'm not sexist. I fat shame quite frequently, but, like, I don't hate fat people, you know what I mean? Like, it's a place of comedy. Like, I exist for people to make light of things that people normally shouldn't make light of. Just, like, to come to an understanding that everything's not as bad as some people seem to think it might be. You know what I mean? So, like, if anybody ever has a problem with my humor or the way I construct myself or, like, the way I present myself, never be afraid to, like, sit here and say, hey, dude, I think you're going too far, because I don't want people to feel like they're being ostracized and they don't have the ability to be able to speak for themselves, if that makes any sense. Like, I don't want people to feel like they're afraid to come to me with concerns and have to rely on other people to, like, help them feel better. You know what I mean? So, like, if you think I'm being too offensive or I'm going a bit over the top, like, feel free to let me know. Like, I'll probably not stop, but I'll hear you out. Just so people know I'm not a complete cunt. Like, it's just the way my humor works. I'm really offensive. I'm very, like, some people could arguably say that I'm, like, being racist or something like that, and, like, sometimes I am, but it's not like I'm an actually racist person. You know what I mean? Like, it's just humor, really, to me, and I feel like people get way too bent out of shape about way too many things, and I'm basically just here to be like, yeah, like, these things are not as serious as people think they are. Like, don't get me wrong, racism is a serious fucking problem. It's really bad, but like, I'm not racist on purpose. I do it, like, from an aspect of humor. Or, like, I'll make fat jokes out of a sense of humor, not, like, because I hate fat people or anything like that. Like, I don't hate anybody in particular. I'm just not a fan of people altogether. And I think that frame of mind kind of helps me be a little bit more comfortable with that, if that makes sense. But, yeah, like, I don't hate anybody specifically. Like, I'm not racist, I'm not sexist, I'm not ableist or anything like that. Like, I don't, like, actually hate fat people. But some people really do need to fucking get a grip on themselves and be better people, if that makes sense. Like, there's improvement for everybody everywhere. And also, how did this ghost pack just, like, come into existence? That's a little bit, alright. But yeah, like, if you people ever think I'm going overboard or, like, I say something that really fucking offends you and pisses you off, let me know. Because, like, I've said it before, I don't pander to SJWPC bullshit. I really don't. Like, I don't give a shit if people get offended, typically. But, like, if you genuinely have a problem and people have a poor opinion of me because they don't exactly understand my frame of mind or, like, how I'm trying to present myself, or, like, they misconstrue something or misinterpret something, I want to clarify it. Like, I don't want people to think I'm a fucking asshole, because I'm not. Like, I am, but I'm not. And I'm not trying to present myself to people as if I am one, if that makes sense.
It's outside.
Like, I don't tolerate racism or, like, hatred or, like, any of that shit. Like, I don't advocate any of that. Like, I'm not a fan. I don't support it. There's some shitty fucking people out there. But,
Come on. Yeah, give me...
like, I want people to feel like they can be themselves here and come to me about anything. I don't want people to be like, oh yeah, like, he said some shit and I'm bothered by it or whatever, but I don't want to go to him because I'm afraid of how he'll respond or whatever, or the problem will persist or anything like that. Like, I don't want people to feel like they have to go behind my back, if that makes sense, and confide in other people when they can, like, be comfortable confiding in me, you know? So, like, if anybody ever has a problem with me, I'm not gonna get fucking pissed off at you, I guarantee you that. Like, I'm not gonna think differently of you, I'm not gonna fucking get pissed off and say you're being a pussy or anything like that. Like, I'll talk you through it and be like, hey, like, I understand how I may come off, like, a little bit, like, abrupt, and I may come off like a bit of a fucking dick, and I totally see why. But, like, I assure you I'm not that way. So, I don't know, I just wanted to get that out of the way so people, you know, like, know where I'm coming from. Because, this person I was talking to essentially told me that I come on a little strong, and people think, like, I'm trying to flaunt, like, my skill at shit, when I'm the exact opposite. But the way I, like, self-deprecate has an adverse effect. Because when I say I'm shit at everything, and then I say this only took me 3 tries, apparently it makes people feel really fucking shitty about themselves. But honestly, that's partially my input. You know, like, me framing things a certain way, or wording things a certain way. But it's also partially people comparing themselves to me. And then saying, oh, well, if he says he's shit and this took me that long, what does that make me? You know, if that makes sense. But, like, the thing is, don't compare yourself to me. I'm not going to compare myself to you. I'm not trying to. When I say this only took me 3 attempts, that's not me trying to compare myself to you and saying, look how much better I did. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm saying if somebody as shitty as me at this game can do this in 3 fucking tries, it can't be that bad, and you should be infinitely better off, because I'm shittier than everybody at everything. If that makes sense. Like, I consider myself essentially garbage at almost everything I fucking do. And if I happen to get something really, really quickly, or easier than most people, it just means I got really fucking lucky. Pretty much. But I'm not gonna say who it was, chicken, but it won't do anything good. Like, it'll just cause problems. But I just want people to know, like, what I'm thinking and, like, what I feel, and I'm not, like, ignoring anything like that. And, like, I'm trying to, you know, bring attention to it, because apparently, like, a lot of people seem to think I come off like a cocky dick, and I'm not trying to.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm trying to assure people that I'm not a cunt like that. And, like, I'm sorry if I've ever come off like that, and, like, I'm a humble person, and I'll apologize when I feel like I've done wrong, or people bring it to my attention that, like, yeah, like, you could do a little bit less of this, it's just not a good look, you know what I mean? But, like, I'm not trying to frickin' make people feel bad about themselves, and I'm sorry that people feel that way. And, like, I definitely don't want to be that kind of person. Like, I don't want to come into a chat room and then have everybody be like, oh, great, that person's here. Like, I want to come into a chat room and have everybody, like, genuinely be like, yay, they're here. Like, I like this person. Like, I've always been really real, and I've always been very upfront. So, like, when people have a problem with me, I want them to let me know. Like, I don't want people to keep it from me because they think I'll get upset or I'll think differently of them or anything like that. It's somebody everybody knows, but I'm not going to say who it is specifically, like I said. It's somebody people are very familiar with, and I figured, like, if anybody has a problem, or they need some advice, like, to me, he's the most likely person that people would come to, so, because that's what I found myself doing. And then I was like, well, what if he just tells me what I want to hear, and he isn't, like, straightforward with me, and he doesn't tell me what I actually want to hear, and he's just trying to spare my feelings? I don't want that. Like, if I'm doing something fucked up, or, like, people think I'm an asshole, I want people to fucking tell me, if that makes sense. Like, I don't want people to just go on thinking I'm a fucking prick, because I'm not. Like, I really don't try and present myself that way, and I'm sorry if I come across that way sometimes. Yeah, Chicken's that guy. Nobody else can replace Chicken. Chicken is that embodiment. Like, when people are like, oh shit, like, he's here. Chicken is that guy. Like, he fulfills that role.
You do know where you're going, right?
And, like, sometimes you do go a little bit far, Chicken. Like, sometimes you really do. Like, even to the point where, like, I call you out and I'm like, hey, like, that's a little bit, like, come on, man. But, okay, well, I obviously don't go that way, because that's death. So where do we go?
You wait here, and you watch me.
Oh, okay. Nathan, what are you doing, pal? Right.
Your turn.
Alright, let's hope we don't break our legs, shall we?
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, you got this. Watch me not jump, just so he doesn't get this. I like how they're sneaking out of a church, and he's gonna yell, oh crap. Well, it's not a church, it's like a nun orphanage. I don't know. It's like a religiously influenced orphanage, or something like that. I don't know exactly what those are called, because I'm not smart enough, but yeah. Like, when I self-deprecate and I say I'm really shitty at everything, and then I say, like, this took me 3 tries, I'm not trying to rub big dick energy in your face. That's not what I'm about. I'm trying to say, like, hey, if I can do it, like, anybody can fucking do it. That's what I'm trying to get across, and I can understand how that's easily misinterpreted.
How about you take this one?
And, like, how I could, like, be a little bit more clear with that. And I'm really stupid with words. And like I said, it's hard to tell how somebody is meaning to sound through a computer monitor, and you just have to infer certain things, and I totally get it. Like, I totally understand. But, like, I'm not trying to be a fucking asshole. Like, if that makes sense. Like, I'm sorry if people think that way. I'm sorry if I've made people feel bad about themselves. But again, also, like I said, that's kind of just, like, people being self-conscious, you know, and comparing themselves to me. And it's also partially people being a little bit insecure about their own ability. So quit second-guessing yourself, you're better than me, like, I'm shit at everything. Like, just because I only died, like, 10 times on BL4 doesn't make you shit if you've died 1,000 times on BL4. Like, it's not directly, representative of skill, if you know what I mean. Like, because I died, like, 10 times on BL4, that just means I got lucky enough to not die as many times as you did. is basically what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm just fucking lucky. I just get past shit sometimes, and like, there's times where I don't even know how I do shit myself. Like, I'm like, how the fuck did I do that?
Alright.
And I think that about, like, every hard fight.
Check it out. Huh?
Like, for example, my bro Ian just finally beat Ishin for the first time. And he was on Ishin for, like, 25 hours of attempts, or something like that. Like, something like that.
Whoa.
And I beat Ishin in an hour. But I was sitting there and I was trying to coach him and I was trying to help him, like, with all my advice and all my experience of the fight. Not to be like, hey, look how much better I did than you, but because, like, I know he's been there. And with Ishin, there's a certain slump where, like, if you get a certain wealth of knowledge and then you apply it and you start to use it, the fight becomes so much less menacing. And it just, like, you can do so much more shit, like, if you just have the knowledge. So, like, I was trying to tell Ian, like, yeah, you parry the wombo combo, you Mikiri this, you watch out for this, you want to be aggressive here, you don't want to do this here, or whatever, because you get punished for it, or whatever. And then today, my bro Ian finally fucking beat Ishin. Like, he did it, and it was really painful for me to watch my buddy fight Ishin, because I know I had been there myself. Like, in the middle of my Ishin attempts, when I was playing the game for the first time blind, I hit a certain point where I was so fucking aggravated, and I was so pissed off. And I just, like, I didn't know what to do. And, like, Ishin is designed to kind of break your spirit like that and make you apply all that knowledge. Which is why I appreciate him as a boss. Like, he has a genuine difficulty and learning curve that you have to apply all your knowledge of the game to get over. And I like that, and that's why I think he was designed really well. But, in the middle when I was being pissed off, and then I had a state of clarity where I just calmed down, and I applied all the knowledge and all the shit of the fight that I had taken in at that point, like, all the times where I've gotten killed, and, like, all the mechanics of the game, and I just sat down and I applied it all in one sitting. And that totally allowed me to get over that theoretical hump, like, that I was stuck going up, right? And once you get over that hump, it's all downhill from there. You realize the fight is so much more simplistic than you first thought it was, and so much shit falls into place to just make it so much more surmountable. And,
sure the cops aren't gonna see it that way.
like, at first he was struggling on Genichiro at the beginning of the fight, and Genichiro was kicking his ass, and then eventually he could no-hit Genichiro. And then he was struggling with Phase 1 of Ishin, and then he got to a point where he didn't even consider Genichiro in Phase 1 part of the fight anymore, you know? And he got to Phase 2, and then he was struggling with Phase 2. And then, like, when I watched his final fight, he basically didn't even get touched in Phase 2. And I was fucking impressed, because that had signified that he had learned. And he had applied everything that I told him, and everything that he had learned himself. And, he finally beat Ishin today. So congratulations to my bro Ian. I'm very fucking proud of you. Like, he stuck it out. Like, there's so many times where I know he wanted to give up just out of pure frustration, but he didn't. Like, he hung in there and he kept going. And, like, I'm really proud that he did. So, yeah, congrats to Ian on finally beating Ishin. You did it. Fucking proud of you. When am I moving out? Hopefully sometime soon. I'm working on getting something in place right now so I can get the fuck out of this house. Because living here is not... Like, it's not a stable living situation, but it's not unstable either. Like, if that makes sense. Like, I can be here, but there's certain capabilities that I don't have. And there's things that I want to do that I just can't do while living here. And I have all the freedom that you'd expect of living by yourself. But at the same time, there's a lot of complications that I go through. And a lot of stupid bullshit that just sucks, and I don't want to deal with it anymore. So, do I have the funds down? No, I haven't been able to find work, but I'm finding an alternative, like, I'm finding an alternative way to get the funds I need through different means, if that makes sense. Because I have certain medical conditions and complications. Like, I have ADD, I have ADHD, I have, like, a weird temperamental disorder, which is called IED or something like that, and then I have, like, anxiety, and I have depression, and I have, like, a ton of issues and stuff, so.
Have fun.
I will.
I'm looking into an alternative way. to get the money I need for me to basically live on my own. Because honestly, I'm not suitable for working class. I'm not. And it's good because I can't find any work, but I'm also not suitable to work. So, I mean, it kind of falls into place, really. And as much as I try and apply myself, as much knowledge as I think I have, you know, it doesn't matter if I don't get a chance to present it and do anything with it, so, I mean. Well, you can't just move to Wisconsin or Minnesota with no money, chicken. You're just depressed and retarded, that's essentially me. But anyway, enough about the negative shit. I just wanted people to know, like, what kind of mental place I'm in, if that makes sense. And, like, if anybody have ever felt uncomfortable with anything I've said, and that goes for YouTube, too, like, if any viewers or anything have a problem with anything I say, or they think I'm being too offensive, or I need to tone shit down, like, just let me know. Like, I'll try and apply myself and not be as offensive, but no promises. But I just want people to know pure intent is there. Like, I'm not trying to be an asshole. Like, it's just how my humor is. Did I hear Chicken's good news? No, I did not hear Chicken's good news. What is your good news, Senor Chicken?
Welcome to Panama. Hey, gringo.
Please enlighten me.
Tengo un cuchillo que tiene tu nombre, amigo.
Hey Vargas, déjanoslo a nosotros.
But yeah, like, the point I got stuck on, I'll let you guys know when I get there. Because, like, to be honest, I have seen the whole game, past the point where, I stopped. I watched somebody else play it, but I don't remember it for shit. But I know I've seen it before. Which is why I say this is semi-blind. Like, I kind of know what happens, but I don't remember specific details at all. Like, it's basically blind, like, honestly. Like, my memory is just so bad that I can't even apply the knowledge.
Wait, what did you say?
So.
You'll find out soon enough.
Yeah, but we start out in a prison and there's Spanish people. Lots and lots and lots of Spanish people. Kind of weird, right? Maybe it's just coincidental, who knows? Like, everybody here aside from me is Hispanic. So far, at least. You registered a company? What do you mean you registered a company? Like, you started a business, Chicken? And if so, what kind?
No, not that way.
Because I'm kind of intrigued. Because, honestly, I question your ability to chat like a civilized, normal person in a chat room. So, establishing and starting your own company is kind of like a... Huh? Like, you know what I mean?
This doesn't look like the warden's office. Go, lad.
So, further elaborate. For I am curious to know of your ventures.
Through there. Through here?
You did start a company. That's fucking insane, dude. What is it? Like, what kind of company is it? Like, what kind of business is it? Cybersecurity, really? So does that mean, like, you know a lot about computers and stuff like that? Because I don't. I'm just, like, in that department. Woo! Fucking down the rabbit hole, man. I have no idea what I'm fucking doing when it comes to computers. All I know is, don't click on any sketchy links, because you can download, like, harmful, like, viruses and shit like that, and that's pretty much it. I know how to clean out my computer when it needs, you know, cleaning, like dusting and stuff like that. And I know, like, how to go over files and delete, like, unnecessary shit so you don't clog up your CPU and crap like that, but that's it. That's pretty much all I'm aware of.
And not to beat on my inmates.
Everything else is just... no idea.
Be careful with that, it's 300 years old.
He's like, oh, I'll be careful with you, you're like 27.
I was a member
I'll touch you all
Captain
over,
Henry Avery's
because it's a
group.
prison.
You know who that is?
He was a pirate.
The pirate who pulled off the biggest heist in history.
Yeah, but anyway, I gotta quit thinking about negative shit so I can get into my, you know...
Over $400 million
I gotta, like,
worth of gold
snap my
and
neck
jewels,
muscles and,
all
like,
from
stretch
one
and get
single
into
ship.
a commentary mode. Not that my commentary is at all good, but, you know...
Familiar with the story.
I just need to get into my state of funny where I, like, make light of everything and I'm incredibly racist and, like, super offensive.
I hope someday
I'm
you
super
will find your
tech-tarded.
way
My
to this
homie is doing the tech
infernal
part.
place.
I'm gonna just do the business
Bear my
side.
cross
Gotcha.
and discover
That's cool.
the riches of
So, like, are you considering your friend, like, a co-founder, or what?
What?
Or was it, like, entirely your idea and he just
Riches of
opted to do all
paradise.
the, you know, digital stuff and all the
It's a
difficult,
metaphor.
complicated, techie stuff?
You and your friends did not pay to get into this.
Also, let me know how the audio is, if you can hear the game. I made sure that I enabled subtitles for everybody, so we don't have what we had last time. So, subtitles are in place. Everything should be fine in that regard. But yeah, like, basically, in short, I got really, like, self-conscious, and I didn't want people to feel like I'm an asshole and they can't say anything to me or whatever, and, like, I don't want people to feel like they have to confide or, like, place their trust in somebody else when they have an issue with me. Like, if you have an issue with me, and that goes for anybody, like, if you're a fellow streamer, or if you're another viewer in a different chat or something like that, and you have a fucking problem with me, tell me. Like, I'm not gonna get pissed off at you, I'm not gonna freak out, I'm not gonna think any differently of you, like, nothing like that. Like, I don't want people to feel like they have to not be themselves around me. Like, I want people to feel comfortable around me when I come into a chat room. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't want people to think I'm a fucking asshole, because I'm really not. Like, I'm super fucking nice. It's just, I understand how, like, I may come off a little strong sometimes, but it's pretty much because I'm an idiot. Like, honestly, that's all it is. So if I ever say something that, like, really pisses you off, or, like, you think I'm a fucking asshole, just let me know. Is that a little bit better? Can you hear the game now? Where's the stabbing? We're gonna get to the stabbing in a bit, Chicky. The opening is a bit... The opening is a bit, like, it takes a little while to get rolling. It really does. You have to do all this, like, supplemental, like, kind of story-centric bullshit before you get into the action part of it. But all the Uncharted games are essentially like this. All this, like, jumping and crazy climbing and shit like that. Like, all the Uncharted games have this. And then there's a lot of gun combat and stuff like that. It's basically like an action-adventure, like, third-person shooter, pretty much, with, like, a whole bunch of action segments and crap. Think of Uncharted as Tomb Raider, basically. Like, it's basically discount Tomb Raider. With a slightly different feel to it, but it's much the same. Like, it's very, very, very similar. Like, there's treasure hunting, there's action, there's gun combat, there's QTEs sometimes, there's, like, weird epic helicopter fights and shit like that sometimes.
Onward and upward.
I don't know, that's just how Uncharted is. But yeah, like, I don't want people to feel like they have to be different around me, or, like, they're not comfortable around me, or, like, they don't like what I say, or anything like that. And I don't want people to ever feel like I'm ragging on them, because I'm fucking not. Like, I don't care if it took you 200 attempts on a boss, you're still fucking far better than me at whatever the fuck you do. Like, I guarantee it. Like, just so people want a gauge of what I mean, is I went back and I tried to play Dark Souls 3 a little while ago, just for some fun shit. Just because, like, I kind of missed the game and I wanted to refight some of the bosses. And I literally hardly got out of the high wall of Lothric. Like, I literally hardly made it out. Like, I'm so, like, out of my element when it comes to that game now.
Okay.
So, like, I'm really fucking dog shit at everything. So, just because I say I got past a really hard boss really fast, doesn't mean that you're shittier than me. Or anything like that. Like, don't fucking think that. It's like, I'm trash at everything. That is my entire goal. That's why I started being a Twitch entertainer. Is because, like, I wanted to be the person that people could come to, like, when they had a long day at work, and they could just, like, wind down and relax and watch somebody be a fucking idiot.
Spanish sure knew how to build a
And, I've heard I'm quite funny, so I figured I could apply that to, like, a personality on Twitch, and just be, like, a place for people to come, like, where they wanted to, like, wind down and just, like, have somebody to laugh at, and, like, they wanted some funny shit, you know? Like, I'm basically just essentially that. That's all I'm here for. Like, I'm not here for growth or for views or, like, to beg for money or anything like that. Like, I'm just here so people can watch me be an idiot. That's basically it.
Oh, man,
and if I can happen to entertain people in the process, hey, I say that's good enough. I've never given a shit about views or anything. I've never centered myself around growth or, like, around money or anything like that. Like, I'm just here for somebody to be a bro with and just chill the fuck out and have fun.
Where to begin?
If I remember correctly, I think this is 12.
All these squiggles and scratches must mean something.
Where's 12? Ah, there's 12. Yeah, I know, dickhead. I know which one it is. Can we just, you know, skip the fucking Einstein bit and just do the wall rock? Huh? Maybe I gotta look at this first. Maybe I have to, like, trigger it to let me interact with it or something.
Wait a sec. I saw something like this on the letter.
Yeah, we did, but we don't need to reference the letter because we already have the answer.
Huh.
I'm sorry, Nathan Drake doesn't
that's
talk
part
like
of the
that.
symbol. Ah, here's the other half. Now then.
Oh my fucking god, Uncharted, I know what to do. Just let me do it, dickhead. Dude!
That's
Fucking
more
game,
like
Jesus Christ.
Okay, got a zodiac symbol.
Put it away,
Sagittarius.
Nathan Dyke, you fucking idiot.
Scorpio sign.
If you're wondering why I call him that,
X
it's
and
because of his
II.
fucking haircut. That's why. Alright. Yeah, so let me just, like, limber up and get into my comedic frame of mind, because it was kind of a serious startup. And, like, I just want to let people know where I stand on that.
Digna factis reci.
Like, if anybody has a problem with me or an issue with me, like, feel free to come to me about it. You don't have to keep secrets, and you don't have to hide anything from me. Like, I'll agree, like, in all honesty, I'm a complete asshole, but I don't try and come off that way.
This is it.
And I'm sorry if I do. Like, if you ever feel insecure about yourself because you're worried that, like, you're shittier than me because I did this boss in X amount of tries, don't second guess yourself. I guarantee you, you are far more skilled than me at anything that you could possibly do in real life.
Better watch that first
Like, in
step.
video games, whatever the fuck. Like, I guarantee you, I'm just a fucking idiot. Sometimes I get shit really fast, and sometimes I'm on the simplest shit for hours. That's just how it is with me.
Huh. Now what?
Like, I'm really sorry if I come off like a cunt. I really don't try to. And I can understand why people have certain problems with it, and, like, with me in general. But, like, I'm not trying to be that way. Like, I promise you, I'm not trying to be that way. So. Like, if anybody's, like, super, like... Like, if people think I'm a fucking asshole, let me know.
Yeah, see Rafe do that.
Because, like, I don't want people to think I'm a dick. Because, like, I try and present myself as a really nice and compassionate, caring person, but, like, I'm really just kind of a cold-hearted asshole. You know what I mean? But, like, I'm never out to, like, purposely make people feel bad or, like, to offend people or anything like that. Not intentionally, anyway. And if I do, I'm sorry. Like... And I know, like, a simple I'm sorry won't cut it, but, like, I'm not gonna write, like, a giant fucking letter, you know, expressing, like, how bad, like, I feel about shit when I don't really feel that way. Like, basically, I made a Twitter post, and I just said, like, it's come to my attention that people think I'm a little bit cocky, and I kind of come off like an asshole, and I'm a little bit uptight, but, like, I'm just trying to, like, basically,
Now we're talking.
like, tell people, like, how I am, like, how I actually am. Because it's hard to interpret through a computer screen. I totally get it. Like, you can only judge somebody based on what you read and what you hear. And it's really hard when you can't tell how somebody's, like, trying to come off through a monitor. So I can understand how it gets misinterpreted.
What'd you find?
But again, to a degree, it is people being a little bit insecure about their own ability. And, like, for example, like,
What?
compared to people like K. Witty, Squilla,
There's a clue
like,
hidden up there
anybody who
somewhere.
no-hit runs any of the Souls
Sure?
games,
Were you looking in the right
I'm
place?
nowhere
Maybe I just
near that
missed something
fucking
in the
good.
letter.
I'm
Could've been
nowhere
another
near
tower
that
that
good,
collapsed
or
centuries
confident
ago.
in my ability to be able to no-hit those games. So what those guys do is fucking impressive to me.
There, any
Not that I'm
plans to this
comparing
place?
myself to
You know,
them,
Blueprints?
but just because they have the ability
be.
to
There's
do
a
it,
bunch
and they're
of old
confident
files.
in their ability
Great,
to do
great.
it, you know what I
Go
mean?
look through those.
I'm not at that level. I can't do that.
Meanwhile, I'll talk to Sam. He's our Avery
You know, like,
expert.
I'm just a casual
Maybe
player
make
who
sense of this
sometimes,
whole
like,
mess.
gets past shit really
Right.
easily.
I'll look through
Or
the
I don't
files.
struggle with it
Turn
as
around.
much as other people do. That's it. Like, that is the extent of my ability. But, like, also, if you think about it in this light, right? No hit runs and
Done
speed
talking
runs
to him.
take a lot of strats.
Come and find
They
me.
take a lot of safety routes. They use a lot of bugs and AI loops and
I got you
glitches and
fighting
shit
one more
that are
time,
not
Or
intentional.
we can the hole for you.
And they do that to make it a bit easier on themselves so they don't have to worry about not getting hit by everything in the game. Like, they can just skip certain fights, or they can use a certain cheese to ensure that they don't take a hit on it. It's basically just applying your knowledge of how the game works. But there's also a degree of skill that goes into it too. Don't get me wrong. It definitely takes knowledge and understanding of the game and its mechanics and its concepts and its fights and knowing how shit works and how to manipulate the fights to your advantage the best you can. Don't get me wrong, that takes a degree of skill. Same thing with speedrunning. It takes a degree of execution and skill, right? But it's not entirely dependent on ability.
You were right.
So I never want people to think that I'm trying to flex on them, or I'm trying to, like, come off big dick energy mode, because I'm seriously fucking not. That's not what I'm about. I'm the exact opposite of what that's about.
Now this rich asshole comes in on the tail end?
Like, I'm not trying to come off like an elitist prick, or I'm not trying to come off like I'm fucking better than everybody who plays this game. That's not what I'm trying to come off as, because, like, honestly, I'll die to the dumbest shit imaginable. Countless times. Like, it happens,
What kind
you know?
of problem? Did he let you into the old prison?
Yeah, he did. After he read the letter.
Like for example, right? I was in somebody else's chat, and we were talking about Neo, and we were laughing at the amount of deaths that the streamer had, and he was laughing at it himself, right?
Right now, let's
And then, like, everybody was talking about how many deaths they had, or whatever, and I was like, oh yeah, this game fucking kicked my ass the first time I played it. Because my first run of Neo, if people don't know what my first run of Neo was, I essentially did the entire game, minus the DLC, without any skills, and without any armor sets to benefit me.
So, what do we got?
And I had 102 deaths. My character, that's currently on Way of the Neo right now, has 102 deaths. So the entire first game and every subsequent playthrough up to Way of the Neo, I have 102 deaths on my character. And people are sitting there going on about how they have 800, 900 deaths or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, I have like 102. And they're like, really? What the fuck? 102? And I'm like, yeah, my first playthrough was like no skills and no armor sets. Like, that's just factually how shit is. But people interpret that like I'm trying to impose and I'm trying to fucking come off big dick energy mode. But I'm just trying to be factual with it. I still think I'm garbage. Like, I can consider myself, from my own perspective, garbage because I'm not realizing my full potential and my full capability by my own merits, you know what I mean? But to other people, that comes off as like, wow, this dude is so fucking good, and he's saying he's trash, and he did 80 times better than me. That's purely your perspective, you know, like, that's your interpretation.
Guys, let's just pretend
Because you're comparing yourself to me, so that's your own fault. I can't help you not do that. That's a you thing. I can understand that on a certain degree of my part, like, I come off like a bit of a fucking cocky prick, but that's only because you're comparing yourself to me, and that's why I come off cocky, if that makes sense.
Penitent thief.
Like, your own insecurity you're trying to push on me as if I'm trying to fucking come off like an asshole. And that's never my intention. At all. Ever.
You figured it out?
Like, never. Like, sometimes I'll joke and I'll meme on people, like when they fuck up or something stupid happens, but that's just for humor. That's just for comedy. Like, I'm just trying to roll with the flow, you know what I mean? Like, other people are gonna laugh when fucking streamer dies, you know?
Let's find Vargas.
Like, for example, K-Witty doing the DS1, all bosses as enemies, like, randomized bosses. He got memed so many times, and people fucking laughed at like fuck. And so did I. That's just something that happens, you know what I mean? But like, K-Witty's doing a really fucking hard mod. I'm not sitting there saying, oh hey, look how bad he died, look how much he got fucked up there, I can do miles better, because I did this first try. That's not what I'm saying. So like, I don't know, man. It's all about interpretation. And the fact that like people are going and comparing themselves to me is kind of their own fault. I can't really help them with that. Like, I can understand that I may unintentionally come off like a bit of a cocky asshole by the way by the way I word things, or the way people interpret certain things because they can't hear how I mean to deliver it, if that makes sense. But like, again, I'm sorry if I've ever come off that way to anybody, because it's not my intention to do so. So like, if people think I'm being cocky or they think I'm trying to act like an asshole, just fucking tell me, dude. Like, you can be real with me. Like, I'm not somebody you have to fake shit around. Like, if you're not happy to see me, or I come into a chat room and you don't want me there, or something like that, like, of course people aren't gonna say that in a chat room. But, like, if you have a problem with me, fucking DM me and I'll fucking sort it out. Like, I'm not an asshole to the point where I'm gonna disregard everything you have to say, and just, like, discredit everything you have to say to me, you know? Like, if you have an opinion of me, the only thing I can do is try and help better that opinion. But if you think I'm an asshole, you think I'm an asshole. And it's not the end of the world, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna freak out just because one person on the planet thinks I'm a fucking asshole. I don't care. Like, if people think I'm being a dick and I can help try and be less of a dick, that's one thing. But, like, if people just don't like me naturally or whatever, if they don't like the kind of person I am, or the way I present myself, that's cool. I can't really help that, you know what I mean? But yeah, like, enough about the negative bullshit. I'm just trying to tell people, like, I'm human too. Like, people seem to think I haven't gone through that same frame of mind. Like, Father Owl took me an hour. He took me an hour. I heard that somebody beat him in, like, 3 tries, because I was talking to somebody, and I was like, really? 3 tries? Jesus Christ. But I didn't think, hey, I did this fight really bad. I just said, wow, he beat him in 3 tries. That's pretty fucking impressive. He must have learned the fight really fast. Or maybe he saw the fight before, so he knew how to do it, or something like that. I didn't. I don't know, maybe he was just naturally really good at that particular fight. I don't know. That's the thing about FromSoft games and games with that kind of challenge. Different people struggle with different things. But, like, when I play a game, I try not to abuse shit in it. Like, if something's overpowered, I will specifically not use it because it's super overpowered. Or I intentionally want to learn because I want it to be a challenge. Because that's the challenge that those games provide.
You still might.
The challenge is the learning.
Vargas,
You know what I mean?
seriously?
But, yeah.
Oh, I didn't find
I was impressed that he did it in 3 tries. It took me an hour. I didn't say, wow, it took me an hour and he did it in 3 tries. I didn't fucking care if he did it in 3 tries. I was like, congrats on doing it in 3 tries, dude. That's really fucking impressive.
Hey, look.
Like, holy shit. Like, I was genuinely
You
impressed.
think I'm an idiot?
Okay, you want to
But I didn't apply his experience to mine and say, oh, well, I've died like 800 times on this boss, therefore I must be shit. I just see it as, I've died 800 times on this boss. I don't know.
Thank you. We're willing
It's
to
just
give you
stupid for people to compare themselves to me and, like, to kind of, like, push that onto me as if it's my fault that other people are struggling super bad. I don't know.
doing most of the work.
Like, I can understand how I come off like a cunt if I were to be like, oh, dude, just fucking play better. Quit being a fucking idiot. Quit getting hit by everything. Study your mistakes. Just do this, forehead. Like, I could understand. But I don't come off like that. When somebody says, I'm fucking struggling really hard, I'll be like,
I can live with that.
yeah, like, I didn't struggle with that, honestly. Like,
400 million divides
I really didn't fucking struggle with that. But hang in there, you'll do it. You know?
Yes, we have.
Like, you're better than you think you are. That's how I try to come across.
And if you ever cross me...
What's up, Touch? Thank you for the follow, man. Sorry I'm just going on about fucking bullshit, but I feel like it's important. Like, it's important bullshit. Like, I'm just rambling to a degree, but I want people to know the kind of person I am, if that makes sense.
Guys, what are we doing here?
Yeah, thank you very much, man. I really appreciate
Was
it.
this part of the plan?
I've been shown a lot of love on here from, like, big people and, like, even small streamers and stuff, and I've met so many fucking cool people on here.
God damn it.
And it's just, it's a pleasure to hang out with people. I'm glad, like, I have a community of my own, and I'm glad that I can be a part of others' communities as well and connect with people, because honestly, like, I don't consider myself to be much of a people person, so, like, every time that I get to be on Twitch and just, like, talk with people or joke around with people, it's a fucking blessing to me. And, like, a lot of people aren't gonna know that because they don't really know me as a person specifically, and people just see me as, like, an entertainer. Or, like, a certain degree of an entertainer, if I were to put it that way. Or, like, whatever the fuck you view me as, but, like, I'm just a dickhead who plays fucking video games. That's it. Like, I just get on here to joke around with people and have a good time. That's pretty much all I come here for. And, those are some of the best moments that I get to have, because my life outside of Twitch is really, really garbage. Like, I don't hang out with people very much in real life. I don't have a lot of friends. I don't know, like, people on Twitch are whom I consider to be my friends, if that makes sense. Like, there's a certain degree of social interaction that I don't get from anything else, and Twitch provides that.
Come on, Sam.
It's like every day I get to come on here and I get to stream video games, or I just get to hang out in people's chat rooms. That's a fucking blessing to me. And, like, I don't want to take advantage of that, or I don't want people to feel like they have to feel a particular way, or, like, fake being happy to see me. Like, if somebody has a problem with me, I want them to be able to feel like they're confident enough to be able to come to me about it. I don't want people to feel like they have to go around behind my back and bullshit me, or just fake, like, being happy or anything like that, like, when I'm not. Because, like, I don't try and intentionally come off like a prick, and I'm sorry if you interpret it that way. Because that's not what I intend. But, yep, alright. Time to show off my boxing skills in a prison. Although I'm not really good at it because I'm getting the shit kicked out of me, aren't I? Although you could make the argument that it's like 4 dudes on 1, so.
Alright, we need to catch up with Rafe.
Yeah, but I want people to know I don't come on here and I don't fake a personality and I don't put on a happy fucking smile. And, like, I don't fucking bullshit people, you know? Like, I'm not about that. I'm about genuine honesty, and I'm about being upfront with people. Do I really gotta move this that far out of the way, even though the grate was fully uncovered? Don't you think that's a little bit of a stupid move when you're getting shot at and you're, like, fist-fighting Mexican guards in a prison when you're trying to escape? It seems a little bit dumb.
They're everywhere.
Yeah, it's a prison, idiot. They're guards.
Okay, looks clear.
Damn it, this place is like a maze.
No, it's not like a maze. It's like a prison complex, which you're trying to escape from, so of course it's difficult. Especially when you're getting bullets in your shoulder.
Good to see you.
Where are we going? We going up here? Or...
Close. There's the lighthouse.
Wait, how did this dickhead get up here and then we were fucked? And we were on the ground and this guy was already like miles ahead of us. Maybe he's in on it. Like, does he know something we don't? Or some shit like that? Yeah, watch the barbed wire, Nathan. Cut fingers are not going to help you grip buildings any easier. Yeah, insane obstacles. Yeah, look how badass I am, reading chat while I'm escaping from a prison getting shot at by Mexican guards. I must be on Big Dick Challenge mode or some shit. Fucking crazy. You thought Dark Souls was scary. Try doing this shit in real life. Although you could argue that getting shot by guards is a little bit more realistic than fighting a dog with a giant sword in its mouth that would, like, literally cut you in half. And you can't just heal that with a freaking magical orange potion. You're like, actually fucked. Like, not even a hospital, not even science or medicine can save you at that point. Like, you're just cut in half. It's a giant sword, realistically. I don't like the way he looked at me there. That was a little bit horrifying. You know what he looks like? He honestly looks like, is it Jack Nicholson in The Shining? Yeah, I think it is Jack Nicholson. Where he's like, here's Johnny! And, like, he looks through the door and he's all, like, insane and shit. He kind of looked like that right there, and I think that's what it's reminding me of.
Your brother is dead. Either come with me or join him.
Yeah, wow, dude. My brother just died. He just got shot. Too soon, man. He's like, your brother's dead. It's like, I know. It just happened. And he's just, like, rubbing it in like a fucking asshole. I mean, like, I know he's trying to save my life, and he's like, yeah, dude, we need to go. We're getting shot at quite a bit. Like, we need to fucking go. But it's like, yeah, I'm also trying to get over the emotional loss of my fucking brother, you know.
I'm coming.
Somebody I've relied on and been friends with my entire life that's looked out for me and, like, helped me and shit like that, and he just got shot to death. While we're escaping from a prison, you expect me to just be like, alright, bro? Yeah, but there you go. There's the intro to Uncharted 4. And honestly, it would have been a lot funnier if I wasn't going on about, like, personal feelings and fucking and, like, all that bullshit, but whatever.